Okay, today's very easy and straightforward modification is I've actually done some modifications in the past on this, but I'm changing the horn. That is the original Triumph horn, which sounds like an asthmatic mouse blowing through a vuvuzela, and that is a cheap and cheerful, what they call a snail horn, still an electric horn, from eBay. I think it was, I don't remember the price, I think it was about sort of £6 or £7 all in, posted, and the advert said it's 300 decibels, which it isn't, but it's a lot louder than the Triumph one. Now, I'm moving position of the horn as well. I did this originally, I put a klaxon on here which I had kicking around in my garage, which was a cheap and nasty Chinese thing, and got the weather in it, and that was beginning to sound like a frog with laryngitis, so I decided it's time to act upon that. So I'm going to mount it. The great thing the great advantage we have with scramblers is we've got a huge big void going on underneath there, under the engine, where on the low pipe versions of this bike, Street Twins and things like that, that's where the catalytic converter lives in there. So I'm going to mount it up in there, and while I've got it apart, you can actually see in a bit more detail my sump guard modification, which has been on there for a good while now. There you go, it's a Preston Petty. It was an old new stock, kicking about, universal sump guard for motocross, enduro, that sort of thing. It's good thick plastic, so it's nice and light. It would actually act as a sump guard, and it tucks up to the bottom of the bike quite nicely, and it uses all the original mounting points. Better still, that bracket there welded to your frame is where the horn was originally mounted. Now, it used to, from factory, it sticks out this side, just down to the side of the radiator. I actually, in order to tidy it up, I just flipped it over so it was behind the radiator, and I could do the same again. There's plenty of room in there to do that, but I figured it makes the bike, well, it gives that ability to see daylight through the engine and frame, which is something I've been trying to get, a look I've been trying to achieve for a while anyway. So that's one reason why it's going to now be moved to underneath the engine. So now it's a case of plug everything in, bolt everything together, and give it a whirl. And there you have the completed installation of a snail horn. Now, I've put it on with the open end of the snail part facing backwards, so it doesn't breathe in a load of weather, and it will fit nicely underneath the sump guard, and you won't even see it, and it's not outrageously loud, but it makes a now it's not outrageously loud, but it makes a better noise than the original Triumph horn did. At least people will be able to hear me now. And there we have a sump guard refitted, and unless you're looking for it, the horn is tucked out of the way and relatively invisible. And now people will be able to hear me coming. I'm quite happy with that job. And of course I do have a little bit of fresh air, a bit more fresh air now between the back of the radiator and the front of the engine. And fresh air, although this isn't a cafe racer, but fresh air is a cafe racer's dream. Right, well, thanks for putting up with me again, and please give me a like and a subscribe and share it with your mates, and I'll see you soon. Take care.